Yeah, Isaiah, Jeff Rennie with Fox 13. What's this experience like? Your first practice today, you got your family over there with your NBA jerseys. Quite a day.
I mean, it's great. I mean, definitely just being here in Utah, being here for the first time in Utah as well. So for me, I'm just having fun, taking it day by day, and just enjoying everything.
Dana Green with ABC4. On draft night, you expressed a little frustration of falling to number 29. A lot of guys use that as motivation. And do you already come into the league with kind of that chip on their shoulder to prove the other teams wrong?
I mean, it's just motivation just playing in the NBA alone. So, I mean, just, playing against, a great level of talent. I mean, that's a blessing in disguise already. So, I mean, for me, I have to prove myself regardless. And, I'm just happy to be in this situation.
Tony Jones from The Athletic. Being a guy such as yourself who likes to get downhill off the dribble, how do you think the spacing of the NBA that you're going to see translates to what you do in terms of the strengths of your game?
I think that would definitely just showing off my passing ability, just finding my bigs, finding shooters. And I think just keeping it simple is that. I mean, I think that would just show those type of abilities.
David Locke, Jazz Radio. How do you self-evaluate your single year at USC?
I mean, it was more like an up and down season. Didn't go the way we wanted it to go, but I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I learned a lot as a player, and it's gonna help in the long run for me. So I mean, I definitely learned how to play that point guard position, at a high level, especially just being in college. It's not the same as other type of college. I mean, NBA or high school games. So. I mean, not as much spacing, but, I mean, just learn to, just make simple plays, and I think that's going to help me in the long run.
Hey, Isaiah, Ryan Miller from KSL.com. What are you expecting to get out of Summer League?
To definitely just compete. I mean, I think it's going to be as simple as that, competing every single, time down the court. I think that's going to be the biggest thing.
Sarah Todd, Deseret News. Why do you think that the second half of your season at USC you had so many improvements in different areas?
I definitely got to, see the game from a different perspective when I got hurt. So, I mean, just watching a lot of film, definitely just sitting on the sideline and be able to see my teammates from a different point of view, that definitely helped me in a way and helped me to the player I am now today. So, I mean, I see that it was really important, for me, and I'm looking forward to everything.
I'm sure that through the draft process, you heard that there were concerns and questions about your shooting and consistency. What is your reaction to kind of those questions?
I mean, I don't really, pay attention to it at all. I mean, I know, the work I put in and, the reps, I continue to work on. So, I mean, it's going to show.
I look at the game against Colorado where you play really well, especially down the stretches. One of the games where you kind of put it all together for an entire, 40 minutes. If you remember that game, what do you remember from that game? What did you take from that game? And, just obviously playing against KJ Simpson and, other guys who ended up, being in the draft. What did you take from that experience, from that singular game?
I mean, we should have won for sure, but I mean, I definitely say, just going into double overtime. The fatigue played a factor for sure. I think I played like 40 minutes that game, something like that. But I mean, for me, it's just just making simple plays. I think that's what it was. I had like 9 assists that game, 1 turnover. I think that was one of my best passing games. So I mean, it just made the simple plays. Kept everything pretty easy. So yeah.
Andy Larson, Salt Lake Tribune. Who are the players that you like watching in the NBA and have liked watching growing up and as you improve as a player?
I mean, I wouldn't say anybody I compare myself to, but I definitely like to watch Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Lil Kyrie as far as them getting downhill, and then a little bit of Ja Morant. So I'll definitely say those 4 the most, as far as just playing that PG spot.
You mentioned your relationship with Keontae George developed this summer or last summer. How did that develop, and what can you learn from him, who's going through a very similar situation last year that you're about to go through this year?
I mean, it was actually kind of crazy because, I kept asking him, I might need a shirt. I just kept telling him that the whole summer, end up being here. But, I mean, it's definitely great, just seeing Keontae just work every single day, at his craft, throughout the whole summer. And just seeing him, continue to get better every single day. He's going to be a great player for sure. So, I mean, it's definitely, good to learn from that as well. So, yeah.
What do you know of your fellow Jazz rookies, Kyle and Cody? You know them from past playing basketball. What do you think of
Played
that?
Cody a couple times this year, and I'm real familiar with Kyle. So, I'm excited to play with them. I'm looking forward to it.
Isaiah, Craig Bowler, Jack, Utah TV, Jazz TV. First, I want your jacket on opening night. I don't know who your tailor is, but it looks good. Yeah, looks real good. Being the number one pick or the number one recruit of high school, that's stress. You playing with Bronny James, that's stress. You're the 29th pick. You wanted to be higher. Just how prepared are you mentally? I would think you would be a very mental alpha type of personality. What's your thought?
I'm ready for anything that comes my way. Simple as that. So, I just approach it the same way as, just going out there, compete, and just having fun. I think, I get to play basketball for a living. That's a blessing already. And just, being able to, play the game every single day is fun. So, yeah.
Lemma Harrington, Jazz TV. To follow up on Craig's question, description, alpha type of player. A lot of young players in this locker room, and leadership. Oftentimes, leaders are born as opposed to built. Can you speak to how you approach leadership, what that looks like for you?
I think I play the hardest position on the floor. So, you got to be that coach on the floor. So, just being that PG, I think it starts with you as far as just being that leader. I think that's really important. PG makes it, you got to know all 5 spots. So, that's a real big thing for me. Definitely learned that, going through college. And, I'm looking forward to it.
Isaiah, it's noticeable you've mentioned passing like 4 or 5 times. You have the best shake of, I think anyone in this draft on that crossover at the top or just any of the ball tightness in your dribble. How do you use that and yet at the same time, make sure you're involving teammates and doing the passing you're mentioning?
Just making the right play. I think that's, what it is. For me, I'm always make the right play, keep it simple, and whatever I got to do to win, that's what it is.
It's for Justin. A lot of 19-year-olds come in and they need to put on weight. They need to put on muscle. Isaiah seems like he has an NBA body already. Where do you want to see him mature physically and mentally?
Yeah, we have a personalized plan for Isaiah. I think a lot of it is for him. He's a junkie. He loves watching basketball. He's studied it, but just to go through the experience of just how fast and physically big and strong this league is, he's certainly equipped to step in that way because he's physically ready. But there's always improvements we can make because he's a young guy, and then let alone the player development part. It's probably going to be more involved in mechanics and footwork and really continuing to make sure, from a conditioning standpoint, that he can go long stretches, especially on both ends with our team. Where with young guys on our team that trying to turn them into two-way players. Isaiah's got all the talent and physically and skill-wise to do that. Those are the most valuable players in our leagues, the guys that can play both ways. So there's enormous potential there, and we're going to help him unlock it.
Isaiah, is there a reason that you picked number 13?
Is there a reason? It was just available. So, yeah.
What, man? This ain't Costco.
Yeah, it was just,
I like it, though. All good?
appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.